Hey guys, and welcome back to 2-Minute Coder. So we're doing Leetcode problem 238, which is product of array except self. Basically what we have to do here is return an output array, which is of size nums. So let's just get that out of the way and initialize an integer array called a result, which is the size of nums. Okay. So what has to happen here is we have to multiply all of the integers in the array except for the index at which we are on. So 24 is a product of 2, 3, 4. 12 is a product of 1, 3, and 4. 8 is a product of 2, 1, 4. And 6 is a product of 3, 2, 1. So what we have to do here is make two passes of nums, one from left to right and then right to left. So in our first pass, which is left to right, we will be multiplying all the nums on the left of num. Okay, so let's just get into it so it's easier to understand. So in this first pass, we will multiply all the nums on the left of num. Okay, so for int I is equal to 0, I less than nums dot length, and I increments. Our first value of result is going to equal to 1. So int left is equal to 1 and right is equal to 1. So what I'm doing here is initializing two integer variables and assigning it the value 1, because you understand here. We have to do left nums I, because in our first iteration where I is equal to 0, we have to multiply left with nums at index 0, which is equal to 1. But if we haven't initialized whatever comes before this, because remember we are in the first pass multiplying all of the values which come on the left, but this is the leftmost value, so we have to just kind of give it a faux value so our code doesn't run into any errors. So 1 times 1 will just keep it as the value. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We're assigning in our result array 1, so we can multiply it with the first value of our nums array. Okay. In the second pass, we will multiply all the nums on the right of num. So before I get into this for loop, let me just explain more about the first one. So in our first iteration, left is equal to 1 and result I is going to look something like this, right? So here we do left times num 0, which will still leave it as 1. Then when we get into the second iteration, left is still going to equal to 1, right? But then in our result array, what's going to happen is 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, because 1 times 1 is still 1 for this second iteration. Then in our third iteration, left is going to equal to 2 because nums in index 1 is 2, right? So 1 times 2 is 2. And our result, I, will be, sorry, why am I putting I? It just result is going to be 1, 1, 2, 0, right? Then in our fourth iteration, left is going to equal to 2 times 3, which is equals to 6. And our result will look like 1, 1, 2, 6. Right, so we already got that 6 here because 6 is the product of all of the values to the left of 4. So we already have that. Now in the third pass, we will be starting from the end of nums. So let's make a reverse loop. Int I is equal to nums.length minus 1. Should go all the way down to 0, and it should decrement, right? So now what we do here is our result at I, we can't set it to right as we did here, because that would mean that the answer that we already got as 6 would be changed to 1. We don't need that. Instead, what we'll do is we'll multiply it by 1, right? So it remains 6. Then, using the same logic here, we will do right times nums of I. Okay, and I hope you guys understand that what this is the same as writing right is equal to right times nums of I. Okay, this is just kind of shorthand for it. So let's go through the first iteration of this. Right is going to equal to 1. Right? And our result will remain 1, 1, 2, 6. Okay? Now in the second iteration, right is going to equal right is going to equal 4 because in the second iteration from the left, no, sorry, because through here we know that 1 times 4 is equal to 4, right? Yeah, exactly. So right is going to equal to 4, and our result is going to be 1, 1, 8, 6. Okay. Then in our third iteration, right is going to equal to 4 times 3, which is equal to 12. So then 12 times 1 is going to give our result of 1, 12, 8, 6. and then in our fourth iteration, right is going to equal to 4 times, sorry, not 4 times, 2 times 12, which is equal to 24, giving us a result of 24, 12, 8, 6. So after these two passes, we will just return a result. Illegal start of type, return result. Put it in the wrong, should be here. Yeah, okay. So that ran pretty fast. Yeah, I hope you guys understood it, and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more 2-minute coder questions.